like he lost to Showtime Sean and Thurman, right?
But the Showtime Sean was close.
Right. Now, those losses though were strategy losses. It wasn't like he went in there and got beat up. He fought the wrong fights. Like that, it wasn't like he went in there and got ran over. Now we're talking about a couple-time world champion Danny Garcia lost these two fights that I'm sure it eased him up and shit. You think Danny Garcia ain't gonna run across that ring and punch Earl in the mouth and try to take advantage of this thing? And I ain't talking about taking advantage of the wreck. I'm just talking about taking advantage of the situation, period. And just so happened he was in this devastating wreck. It'll shock me if Danny Garcia don't run over there and get in that ass. And this is the thing. Earl is a
slow start.
Earl is a very slow starting fighter. And as skilled as he is, he comes out, he sets his distance, he starts shooting that jab. Yeah. And Danny's gonna come over there throwing 2 and 3 shots at a time. Cause not even about the wreck, but about this is my shot. I gotta get back on top with this shit. Because guess what? A win for Danny Garcia, all of a sudden Danny Garcia, Bud Crawford is a super fight. All of a sudden it's a pay-per-view, because watch how everybody will look back and go, yeah, well, Danny didn't get beat up by Thurman and them. He just fought the wrong fight. Like I'm telling you, I'm thinking that now. I'm going, this if Earl ain't 100, Earl damn near needs to be 100% to win tonight. That's what he needs to be, man. And how do you be 100% coming from a wreck? Now, that kind of devastating a wreck 12 months ago. I don't know how you do it. And if he can do it, kudos to him. I'm a fan. I love him. I'm rooting for him. He's a Texas boy. I'm going for him 1,000%. I'm a Danny fan too, though. I mean, even Angel grew on me the last couple of years. I used to couldn't stand that guy on the videos, but now he just loves his son, bro, and he's just trying to hype his son and play his part. Is kind of where I'm. But I don't know him. I don't know him personally, but this is a dangerous fight, man. This is a real dangerous fight. I hope Earl comes out on top. He should be the favorite, and if he wasn't injured, I wouldn't have half of these. I think Danny would be climbing the wall to get up there.
Well, and I think that gets to something that I'm thinking about too, is Danny got nothing to lose, and he's too good of a fighter to be going into a fight when nothing, because you don't want a fighter of that caliber saying, you know what, if I show out, even if I lose, the world thinks I'm going to lose, and that's scary.
Right. And them lights ain't going to scare Danny.
No.
Texas Stadium ain't going to scare Danny. He's going to come in there and perform, man. So
I'm scared of that left hook. He lands that left hook.
We gonna see tonight if Earl's shook back. And I get to thinking that, I can't, if I'm going to lose, why lose to a chump? Lose to the best. And guess what? I believe Earl Spence when he says shit like that, because I don't think he's a sucker. I think he believes in himself. I think he's an elite fighter, always was. And when other people didn't believe in him, he believed in himself. So his thinking for this fight makes all the sense in the world to me. But so does what I'm seeing too in the interviews and shit. I tell you what, go watch an interview from the last press conference, just 2 minutes of Earl Spence answering questions. And then go look up the Earl Spence versus Mikey presser or after press conference.
He's slower.
Way slower. Way everything. Now, I could say, with the teeth, maybe he's adjusting to, but that was a year ago. You got the teeth for a year now. I'm just saying, I'm worried. And when Cynthia Conte asked Derrick James about rehabbing and everything, and he said, we didn't do no rehab, we rehabbed it. Scared the shit out of me, man, because I'm saying, when you're going down there to the rehab facility and working yourself out, not that Derrick James and them couldn't get him physically rehabbed, because look at him, he looks like $1 million. But those trained medical folk would be saying, he ain't right yet. You know what I'm saying? Like the signs of
the experience.
Yeah. You needed somebody to be saying his reactionary time, his thinking time, ain't 100% yet. Because the only thing, if a brain, this is what I know just from experience of boxing. Once your tongue starts getting fat and you're talking through your nose, it's brain damage. Now, before that, when you get knocked out, the only thing that heals head trauma is time. That's it. And you damn sure can't get punched in the head after that. You know, you shouldn't be getting punched in the head for a while. Now, once you pass all the battery of tests and everything, like I'm sure he did for this fight, but we also know Tommy was fighting long after he should. Ali was fighting long after he should. Everybody fighting long after. I don't want to put that bad mojo. Yeah, I'm not putting that bad mojo on the Texas boy. I really ain't, man, because I'm rooting for him. Still rooting for him. Just as the trainer in me, I'm worried. I'm just worried. That's all.
You know, tonight we also got a Houston hometown fighter fighting on the PBC undercard. Miguel Flores versus Eduardo Ramirez.
Shout out Aaron and Bobby.
Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna put on a big show. This is gonna be a great fight to watch. Make sure you guys tune in to that. YouTube, we are live with Lukey from itrboxing in the ring. We appreciate you coming on. Let's move on, man. What are your thoughts on the whole Canelo legal, victory that he had, or the being able to get out of his contract with Golden Boy?
I mean, first and foremost, I got to tell you, I'm not a legal counsel, so my opinion's only going to come towards the business. But I mean, I think it's good for boxing fans because we can get more fights. Mm-hmm. Now we can get a Charlo fight. Now we could get, say, a Quentin Randall fight. If Quentin gets there, we can get all these fights. Benavidez. It used to be who works with Golden Boy. Now it looks like it's Canelo, and wherever he wants to take a fight, he can go. And if that's the situation, that's good for boxing because the guy is so darn powerful and has such a big platform and so many people want to see him. In order for the sport to grow so we can all get some money, we need him fighting the most exciting fight so people tune in and like boxing.
You know, Luke, I don't try to convince people of my experience in the game. And it's funny. When they want me to convince them, I'm like, well, fuck it then. Maybe I'm wrong. But here's the thing. When that shit first hit the scene, I knew Canelo just wanted out of the Golden Boy thing. And I told everybody, the big deal was Hoyer was being shaded to Canelo. He told the zone he could do this and that and this, but he didn't have that understanding with Canelo, so you can't do that, this, and this. So when Canelo's sitting there talking to the zone, he said, oh, I know who the fucking culprit is. And, of course, Oscar them tried, they playing it off, and, like, we built him as a superstar and all that. But it's funny how the minute Oscar's out the way, boom, he's right back on the zone and doing a fight with a top fighter. I said this shit months ago to Manny and to Joe and to all these guys. I'm like, he just wants to he wants De La Hoya out of his pockets because he's doing bad business with him. Now, fast forward. No money, no nothing. I ain't got to pay shit. I ain't got to just get out of my pocket. I don't want to be tied to you. So here we go. Now, it's just how the game works, man. You can't go get this big deal based on something that you and I don't have an agreement, right? Manny wants to be the TV deal for Luke, and I'm Luke's promoter. I signed Luke, and Luke says, "This is what I want, coach. I want X, Y, and Z." Fine. That's what we're gonna do. Let's sign it. Boom. I go to Fresh, and he goes, all right, we're gonna give Luke we're gonna back up the Brinks trucks, but we want A, B, and C. Sure, no problem. You agreed to X, Y, Z, not A, B, and C. So now I'm in the middle. Now I got to play Luke dumb, like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll make it fresh. I'll make it work. And then I'm telling Fresh, I'll make it work. The problem is me, not y'all. Y'all can sit at the table and say, I'll give you A, X, and C deal. Let's go. That's the problem, man. And when I heard Canelo said, man, I ain't never even seen a contract from the zone when they reported this $300 million. I never seen it. My promoter, who's supposed to have my best interest, said, We got this $300 million. Cool. Who don't want $300 million? But then, and Canelo fans ain't gonna, Canelo haters ain't gonna like this. But here's the thing: Canelo is all about fucking legacy, all about fighting these huge fights. And when it's TV deal saying fight fucking Conor McGregor,
Khabib Nurmagomedov,
Khabib the chokeout artist, he's going, I'm fucking Canelo Alvarez, man. Line up the best fighters out here. Let's go. I knew that was gonna be a problem. How the hell? You know why? Because the zone saying, you know who's worth money? Jake Paul.
Yeah.
A Jake Paul fight is worth money. Not a David Benavidez fight. Although us boxing guys is fainting at the thought of a Benavidez Canelo fight. They not thinking like that. They thinking dollars and cents. And as far as I know, ESPN Plus is blowing them out the water on subscriptions. So we gotta figure out our North American market. I knew the minute De La Hoya was out the way, the cash cow's gonna do what the fuck he wants to do. And look at him. He's fighting Callum Smith, #1 rated super middle on all the fucking sanctioning bodies. Just like that. It's nothing. No problem. Just like that. It just so happens the guy's English too, so it works out with Matchroom, all them people. Hey, you can't, if you're causing a problem, get out the fucking way, man. That's what you got to do, and that's what they did with Hoya. Now, does Hoya's business have grounds of saying that's bullshit because we built Canelo and shit? I'm sure they do. I'm sure they feel like it, but they released him, didn't they? As far as I know, they released him. You can go do your own thing now. So that was just figuring out some things, I think, man. You can't tell me to fight these gimmicky fights, and I'm pound for pound the best fighter on planet Earth. And you want me to go fight Mr. T and fucking the cornflakes, man. I'm not doing it. Yeah, man.
I'm going to take over you guys' podcast for a second. I got a question because what does this do for Golden Boy? Like, because you know what I mean? Like now they're fighters. We got a guy like Blair Cobbs, right? And it's pretty obvious there's a guy named Quentin Randall that's calling out Blair Cobbs. And then that fight becomes more makeable when Golden Boy has money problems. You got a guy like Virgil Ortiz. Does he have to take a bigger money fight so then the company gets more money? Does Ryan Garcia have to jump into the frying pan a little quicker now? That's my question.
That's the answer. I think that's the answer. I think those 5-year plans or whatever they were just cut in half, right? It's go time for Ryan. It's go time. You the man, bro. And guess what? Half of his, I happen to think he's turning into a hell of a boxer now because he's with the right people. But where we was looking for you to come up under Canelo, right? And when Canelo has his final 5-year plan, now we pushing you to be the superstar. Now all of a sudden you got to be the guy. Same thing with Virgil Ortiz. I know a lot of people are high on him. They may have to put him in a frying pan quicker than they wanted to. And as far as Blair Cobbs goes, send me the contract tomorrow, Quentin, to get rid of him for Golden Boy if they want to get rid of him. That's just real. I don't give a fuck when they want to do that.
But what's the collateral damage, though? What's the collateral damage that was done as far as having this play out in the public and Canelo being able to get out of the contract? I mean, come on, Ryan. You don't think Ryan would switch teams if the opportunity presented itself? Or Ortiz?
Yeah, but Ryan probably don't have the contract get out of jail free card that Canelo had. So he's locked in.
So you take it to the public.
I'm guessing. We don't know. Man, listen, I knew they was going haywire whenever that young boy went public and they paid him. I'm like, you can't do that because irregardless, I'm on the fighter side. I want the fighter to get everything he can get. But once you kowtow to that, well, the next fight he's gonna bitch and moan too. And sure enough, I think he did, and they gotta figure out a way. So that's just business. You can't henpeck to these fighters. You gotta pay them what you said you was gonna pay them. If a fighter says, I think I need this, and you go pay him, well, what's gonna stop him from doing that every other time? All right.
And if
I was the fighter, I would do that every time. Hey man, what? 200,000? I need 350, man. What you talking about?
I just don't ever see